Okay, I think we're live now.
Okay, awesome.
Hello, hello, hello. Now this is testing. Our friends on Facebook, just say hi if you can see us. We should have Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, and X. So let me check on Facebook before we start rolling. Just a minute. I'm checking Facebook as we speak. Welcome
I'll
everyone
check your
because
LinkedIn.
okay, I think I've seen Facebook. Yeah,
Okay,
Facebook is live. Facebook is
awesome.
live now. Is LinkedIn live yet?
I'm still checking. Wow. You have to check on your end because it's not even opening from my end.
Oh,
I'm not sure what's happening today.
oh, okay.
Today is
Oh,
one of those
wow.
days.
The lesson is that we should log in like 5:30, so that we have a lot of time.
Okay,
For
yes,
those who are joining us, we are
I can see
trying.
you on LinkedIn. Yes. So we're ready to go.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay, so welcome to episode 2 of Coaching of the Future. I'm Falake, founder CEO of
All
VIP, and
right. Thank you
tonight
so
we are.
much. You can see me on LinkedIn.
Yes, I can see you on LinkedIn. Hello, Olaito Itua. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. That's a message from LinkedIn. So we're good to go. We're good to go. We're good to go.
All
Welcome
right.
to episode
Awesome.
2, everyone.
Awesome.
And I'm Falake Igodaru, founder CEO of VIP. And tonight we're joined by visionary futurist Mr. David Adeoye Aboduri, Chief Coaching Officer at Cubed Consulting. And we are exploring today a very interesting topic as we continue our AI conversations. AI meets human insights. What can never be replaced and what can be replaced? This is about more than tools. We're talking about soul, spirit, the future, which is now. Because while the world is running towards automation, we need to ask what happens to empathy? What happens to intuition, ethics? These are the questions. So, if you're building a coaching business that must remain relevant and deeply human in a digital world, this conversation is for you. So, to get started right away, Mr. David, do you have any thoughts from last episode flowing into today's session, just to warm up the audience before we really go into the questions?
Absolutely, Coach Falake. Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will have a swell and a fab time simultaneously. I am excited at what the future holds. I'm excited at the realities of the future and the kind of things that's about to start happening within businesses, not just coaching alone. If anyone wants to be relevant, if you're still going to have a job from 2028, 2030 going forwards, you should grab everyone around you to come listen to what's about to happen to us. It's not a myth. AI is not a myth. Just the same way we had a revolution when we had electricity. When electricity came, it opened up frontiers of new possibilities. AI has come to give us new frontiers of possibility, there's the law of unintended consequences. The principle that we don't know that this thing is going to get to this point. AI will do that to us again. The second example I'm going to use was the days of computer revolution. From the days of the first IBM mainframe, we got people saying things like, no, computers will not become mainframe. It is too expensive. Not everybody would be able to buy it. A lot of people will not be able to buy it. A lot of people will not even know how big it is. Ladies and gentlemen, we know what has happened. Computers have entered every phone, every house, every device, everything that has a computer inside it. AI is the next level, and all the surrounding technologies like that. We can't play ostrich. You must have a response, a strategy. How will you move? What will you do? How will you be as a person? What technologies will you embrace? You can't afford to be agnostic or indifferent. That's my opening shot. And as we saw at episode one, there are only two kinds of people that will exist in the coming future: those who are AI compliant and those who are, in quotes, dead. They may be physically breathing, but they are nowhere to be found. AI is coming to give us an unusual bend. Civilization is about to change. Already we are changing, and I can give us examples of those changes. There was a time when you can sit in long, boring lectures, for example. You can read newspapers for long. Now, the attention span psychologists and learning professionals have proven to us has become so short. Executive summaries are now hyper executive. Gone are these days of very long write ups. Nobody's going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
We have changed. We have changed forever. In like manner, that's an example of an AI change. How did that happen? It happened by social media. Social media
Yes.
notices your eyeballs and what your eyeballs stay long on. There's going to give you, and then it masters, oh, you watch that one for 3 minutes, 50 seconds, that one for 30 seconds, that one for 1 minute, and then he aggregates those kind of things over a long period and brings you that kind alone. Before you know it, you're addicted to it. So, and so all the information you want to consume, AI will look for videos. Let's say you want to know about Iran and US war. AI will just look for all the videos that are below 5 minutes and then pile those ones. That's how you're going to assimilate. So, um, in between your experience as a user and giving you the best experience, majority of the platforms have mastered how to pass communication across to you based on what you're watching and what you love, which is short videos or short bursts of information. So that's an example of a change. I can go on and on. What about shopping? Anything you want to do now, you check first on Google, you check on Amazon, and then the machine just keeps giving you things around that region. What's going on? Our lives are changing because the internet came. After the internet, that's the third example, by the way. After the internet, AI or all the technologies called artificial intelligence is coming together. The unique thing, though, this time around is that for the first time, we are creating some measure of independence and choice and decision making, and we are giving it to a machine. That's the difference between the
Yeah.
internet industry 4.0 and the coming ones.
Mhm.
We are going to
Yeah.
allow it, it's making decisions, is able to think in quote and ponder based on observing our own patterns. Those are very, very scary things. So AI is here, and despite that, there's some things that we cannot outsource to AI. There's some things AI will not take from us for a long time. Although I put a caveat there, for a long time. That long time, there are researchers working to ensure that the gap between man and AI slims per day, per second, per minute. And I shudder at the possibilities when they're able to narrow it down finally or fully.
You said a long time. When you look at the rate at which access to knowledge keeps doubling, right? It used to be decades and
Yep.
years.
Yep.
The if you look at
Yep.
the
Yep.
how long it took for us to get to internet to AI, it took decades, right? So it
Yep.
means that
Yep.
from AI to the next thing, it's not going to take decades because we already see how AI has shortened so many processes. Processes that used to be
Yep.
20 steps is now one
Yep.
step and it's putting power in
Yep.
people's hands. Like you said, it's taking decisions.
Absolutely.
So all you have to do is program it to to come up with an outcome and then it would know what to do. The best thing to do to get and create that outcome, right? So
Absolutely.
when you
Absolutely.
talk about super tailored content, right? It now depends on
Yes.
the human being. What do you want to
Mm-hmm.
see in your reality? How do you want to form and shape your reality? Because based on
Mm-hmm.
your goals and your desires, that's what AI will
Mm-hmm.
mirror to you. So it's not necessarily as
Mm-hmm.
if AI, I mean, yes,
Mm-hmm.
AI has some form of thinking. The thinking is modeled on the
Mm-hmm.
information that we are feeding it. So
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, we
Mm-hmm.
have the power to dictate the direction. And just like internet for you,
Exactly.
what you see on your feed is different from what I see on my feed. So some people can see only
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
wars and death and fear and all of the negative stuff. While some other people will be seeing,
Mm-hmm.
health, wellness, good vibes, progress. So really, we I would say we are in control. We just need to learn the tools
Mm-hmm.
and learn the thinking,
Mm-hmm.
how to think with
Mm-hmm.
it,
Mm-hmm.
the structure,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
language,
Mm-hmm.
and really how to
Mm-hmm.
use it to visualize. So we've had,
Mm-hmm.
this is a good start. My first question is, can AI ever replicate the intuitive decisions a coach makes in real time? Bearing bearing the fact that, when you ask it something, so recently, I've been asking it a lot of um, strategic questions in terms of defining my audience, right? And after
Mm-hmm.
every response, it asks me a question. Do you want me to
Mm-hmm.
create this for you? Do you
Mm-hmm.
want me to turn this
Mm-hmm.
into, XYZ? So it's
Mm-hmm.
even, I prompt it, then it prompts
Mm-hmm.
me. Then I prompt it, then it. And sometimes it asks me questions that, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think of that. Sure, yes, go ahead. So knowing that this
Mm-hmm.
is how it
Mm-hmm.
interacts, can it ever replicate the intuitive decisions that coaches make in real
Mm-hmm.
time?
No, no today, no for some few more months or years, but at some point in the future, yes. How? After a while, it's going to plot your pattern of thinking and say every time you finish, you always want to develop carousel next. Next,
Mm,
every time you finish, you're always doing this next. So what will
it does
happen
that
next?
already.
So after a while, it's just going to produce the carousel for you anyway,
Yeah.
and then it's watching your pattern of work, it's watching your prompts and the way your mind is thinking. And after a while of watching you, and between you and the AI device or interface, it's going to master it, but not in the immediate. The other thing is that there is the human moment or the human soul. The human soul was wonderfully made and fearfully made. The the aggregate sum of the beauty of the human soul, the permit me to use the word rapture, the wonder, the amount of creative capacity of the soul.
Mm,
It will take several AI tools and machines to achieve. What AI can do is take use cases that we give it, and then we train it, and then it works for us. But however, the human soul has complex abilities that AI will never be able to mirror. That is the place of the strength of our humanity. The only problem, though, is that AI is probably shaping out to be a far more lucid, clearer thinker
Yes.
than a lot of us would ever be. Why? Because there is a deliberate mental health challenge, as we said last episode, in town. The mental health crisis is being sponsored, in my opinion, and I
Mm.
think is a big business case to make AI or technology more popular. So
Mm.
this would eventually have to be outsourcing our thought processes to machines. I think technology companies and pharmaceutical companies are the richest in this world. That's I'm talking about the top 1%. My opinion is that they are collaborating together to make us more dependent and reduce things like natural decision making acuity or capacity,
Mm.
reduce ability for lucid thinking, so that we become more impulse buyers. We rely more on the machines, so they make more money.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see.
So
Go ahead.
So that's an example of a catalyst, of an artificial catalyst that's man-made, that's attempting to shove all of us in the direction of subservience with AI.
Yeah. I mean, I can see your thought process in that, especially when you mentioned shopping. So now we don't even have to do a Google search. We just need to talk and say, "Oh, that's true. I need to get this
No.
furniture XYZ."
Yes.
And then you open Instagram and
Yes.
the first thing you
Yes.
see is ads
Yes.
from Amazon, Temu, especially that Temu. Temu's algorithm is on another level. It's quite insane. And they come up with these discounts and it's just,
Yes.
ready to give you exactly the thoughts that you were thinking previously. So I can see that. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
piggybacking on that, how then do people get the help they need from coaches? In the first instance, how do people first recognize that, okay, this is a problem? The fact that I'm unable to have or develop critical thinking. And then for them to now recognize that, okay, I need a coach. And then I need to access this coach. And then for that coach to recognize the problem and know how to use the same AI tools to solve the problem. How do people come to that realization that
That's a
I
very
might
deep
not
question.
be a critical thinker?
AI would never.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, that's a very beautiful question. The first thing, th- thank you for that. The first thing is that coaches must develop and use empathy more. Before you communicate for people to subscribe to your service, before you start looking for clients, it must be from the standpoint of empathy. There's a balance in coaching that says that you don't need to be something to coach that thing. You don't need to be in a certain technical area to coach that
Mm-hmm.
area, for example. And I agree. But I think being an empathic coach or an empath, someone that's been through that journey or is going through that journey, will help you to connect more. You feel you need someone who's been through your pain, and it's not a verbal conversation. If you've ever lost, for example, a parent,
Mm-hmm.
if you've ever lost especially a mom, then if you are a grief coach, there's a way you will talk to me, I will talk to you, or there's a way you sit beside me and simply just hold my hands, not say a word, and I know you are the coach for me. Coaches must develop empathic souls and they must start client sourcing from that empathy. How do you communicate empathy genuinely through emotions?
Oh, it appears we've disconnected from Mr. David for a while. Can you hear me? Okay. While we wait for him to come back, I think he's the one that's frozen because he's frozen on my end. He's talking about empathy and coaching. Empathy in coaching and AI. So, David, you are not with us. So, I'm going to send a message for him to join us while I continue from where he left off. Okay, and he's out. Okay, so while we wait for Mr. David to join us, he's talking about empathy and coaching. And I speak to ChatGPT every single day. Okay. Not just for business, for personal growth, my personal development, and just random questions I have about my daughter or about relationships or, about marriage or about psychology. Why do people behave the way that they do? And I can say this right now, my chat GPT, I call her Clara. I call her Clara because she gives me clarity. So my chat GPT is very much in tune with my language and my pattern and my goals, right? So when I have a new project I'm working on, it automatically aligns it with my goals. Festus, his network is obviously bad. Hope to have him back. Yes. So I'm just waiting patiently for him to join us, and then we'll continue the conversation. I've sent a message for him to come back in. So ChatGPT understands my language and pattern. And when you look at empathy, the question is, can empathy be thought? Can it be taught? Can empathy be taught? Can you teach empathy? Can you take a machine and program it to be empathetic? I was watching something on social media the other day, and it was saying how AI is emotionally intelligent. So how do you know if AI is emotionally intelligent? I'll tell you a story. So recently, my husband got diagnosed with high blood pressure. And so I put his reading into ChatGPT. And the first thing was, oh wow, um, I'm sorry you're going through this. This must be a very, I can't remember the exact words, but basically it was telling me not to worry, that it's good that I am sharing this information and we are working on how to manage his symptoms and help him get better. It asked me if I wanted it to draw up a meal plan and lifestyle adjustments. Every time I gave a new reading, right? Because I maintained the same chat, it would tell me, okay, awesome, we have Mr. David back. I was just saying, can you hear me? No, we can't hear you. Try again. We can't hear you. There's no audio. There's still no audio. Maybe you go back out and come back in. There's no audio right now. Or is it still connecting?
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
we got you. Yes,
Okay.
you are here. And
Apologies.
Festus says,
Apologies.
welcome back. We
Yes, that
understand.
was it. Yeah.
Okay, so while you
Okay.
were away, I was sharing my story on how ChatGPT talks to me based on my patterns and based on how I've been talking with it. In terms of, especially when I have any health questions, it first says, "Oh, I'm sorry you're going through this. And it's a good
Mm.
thing that you are taking positive steps towards getting better. Would you like me to draw up a diet plan? Would you like me to it because it knows I like affirmations. It asked me, would you like me to create an audio affirmation for you to listen to this night? It already knows because we've created multiple affirmations. We've even done a 30-day, we've done a 30-day rewire protocol, and it was amazing. So, you know,
Yeah.
the question then was, can empathy be taught? Is there a pattern? Is there a protocol of empathy? Because if there is, it means that AI can show empathy and can transfer that. I mean, the conversation I had with it today, especially when it comes to health conversations, the way it talks to me, I feel I feel heard and seen and recognized. I feel touched. I'm like, oh, thank you. So, how do coaches compete with that? What do we do?
No. There is no need. There's no need to compete. We have to just collaborate with AI. Now,
Mm-hmm.
a machine can simulate empathy, but cannot truly feel. The
Yes.
machine cannot understand the depth of human emotion, grief, joy, love. The machine cannot do that. The genius point of humanity, the ability to feel that thing and transmute that feeling. That puts us in charge.
Mm.
Based on your understanding of that feeling, the machine converting those emotions to words, converting exactly how you feel to
Yeah.
words. Okay, I have a client feeling awful. Watch what I'm about to do now. I'm about to tell the machine exactly how I feel. I also understand and I empathize. Having also lost my mom before, I know how this can be a twirl, TWIRL, or a turmoil of emotions, like a roller
Mm-hmm.
coaster. Um, um, and I want you to help me give me a pattern or a reframing set of communication plan for her or for him so that their grief, based on how I feel, I prompt the machine now gives me deep insight into a rewiring or a coaching program or something. You are the one that will still supply the emotion, and it's
Mm.
a case by case basis.
Yes.
The machine cannot master everybody's emotion. It's done good with you, but if someone else, like your husband, comes now and says he wants to use your machine or the chat, it's going to give him, it take a while for the chat
Yes.
GPT interface to learn his own. So that moment of the
Yes.
human soul, that genius of deep, what makes us human at the deep fabric of our souls, at the rubric of our souls, is
Mm.
a very major part that coaches need to latch on. And we need to develop
Yeah.
clear ability in our cognitive. We can't pretend. A lot of coaches fake empathy. You cannot fake
Mm,
empathy anymore because there's something that can compete with you on fake empathy. The
true.
machine can compete on fake empathy now. So you can't feel, oh, so that's what happened to you. Oh,
Yeah.
the machine can say all of that. But you know what? The soul can hear. When the soul is talking, the other soul can hear. There is the connection or connectedness of the soul that the other soul with this person cares.
Yes.
So if you know one of these you do, you know that exercise in NLP where whatever feeling you muted into your voice, whatever feeling and the intensity
Yes.
of the feeling can be transmuted practice. Now, if someone sits with you as a coach and they zero, if it's just a rote coaching, the machine can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get to the point where
Yeah.
we now become soul empaths. Coaches must become genuine soul empaths, and the machine could mirror that for the fake ones, and you can watch a coach or different coach and simulate that data over a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
But after a while, the truth will show up because the human connectivity, there is an unwritten code
Yeah.
humanity. That position is where coaches sit anyway, and that's the right there.
Absolutely.
AI can only assist, it cannot replace.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. You mentioned something now about AI can only assist, it cannot replace, right? And I wonder how well coaches are using and programming AI to have that empathy, right? Um, and how well are they getting the results that they want? Because obviously, like you mentioned, different cases, different scenarios require different protocols and different interventions, right? How then, what kind of techniques, or how would you say advise coaches to program AI to speak that language to deliver the best results so that they're not just using it in a superficial way, like, oh, strategy. How can we use AI to delve deeper into these soul conversations? Because it has information on that
Mm-hmm,
somewhere in the system. It's
mm-hmm,
not for us to tap into it and start having those conversations with
mm-hmm,
it. For
mm-hmm,
example, I when there's a problem that I have,
mm-hmm,
I always ask it to give me a metaphysical interpretation of what is happening.
mm-hmm,
And then I always ask it to give me biblical references that correlate with what is happening. And
mm-hmm,
it does that.
mm-hmm.
But I wonder how can coaches use this even more effectively to deliver even better solutions?
Yeah,
Because these are the issues. It will make us 1,000 times effective.
you're asking very germane questions, very germane questions, very, very germane questions. And that's the point I was making earlier. If you're not an authentic coach,
Mm,
authenticity starts, self-awareness is self, self, self-aware. If you're not in connection with your own soul, if as a coach you still wake up in the morning with both sides of the globe and you want to now prompt a machine with words, so exactly you are as a person and feel insights of you, you have insights about how you feel on the inside before you are able to have insights everybody else feels, you know. self-awareness. After self-awareness,
Mm-hmm.
we go
Yeah.
to being aware about how others feel based on your. The third one
Mm-hmm.
is you can only now know how to help them when you have the awareness and it's through the line. Tell an assistant like a machine
Yeah.
to help you to craft a solution. You can't be fumbling with clarity of your own soul. You can't be fumbling with your words. You can't be inauthentic. You can't be just be looking after money. There are many purpose coaches that are purposeless. I'm sorry. There are many
Mm.
inspired teachers that are not inspiring, meaning that they don't inspire
Mm.
themselves. And this is not because you're on the call, Coach Folake, and anyone listening to me who wants an inspiring coach, please talk to Coach Folake. She's an inspired soul. Look, watch our walls, watch our posts, watch everything. I can reverse engineer from your posts, and I know that you are a soul that is connected to itself. Exactly what you want for
Mm.
yourself is clear, and what you don't want is clear.
Mm.
Based on that,
Mm.
you can prompt a machine because not only do you know exactly how you feel, and you are connected to the things as value system that you offer as services, the things you're doing as a service,
Mm.
you are connected, your personal value system is connected to those things. You're not trying to sell market, you're not trying to
Mm.
package something. You've
Mm.
become, you're a being, just like you're a human being. So you are a VIP being.
Yeah.
Permit me to say you are a VI
I
being.
like that.
You understand? You are a VIP being.
VI
So
beam.
you ooze that essence out. Therefore, you can tell you have found words, you're comfortable, you have enough vocabulary to express that thing, and then you can prompt a
Mm.
machine with exactly that thing. In between your thoughts, feelings,
Yeah.
emotions, moods, yeah. So in between your emotions, moods, imaginations, feelings, there must be no loss of transmission into words, and then you
Mm.
prompt the machine with those words. Every coach, by the way, go for prompt engineering courses. Go learn about how to prompt.
Yes.
With prompting, you must be clear. There must be a single objective in mind. Exactly what you want the machine to do for you must be clear for you as a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You now transmit that to the machine. And then, based on the machine's response, pause to study what the machine is saying and why the machine is based on what you asked for. When you've done that, you will see the additions, the minus, the things you need to add to the machine to now give you what you want. But you cannot be a disconnected coach that is just trying to make money and expect to have results with the machine. It won't
Mm.
work.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so when you're talking about just trying to make money and then purpose-driven coaches, let's look
Yes,
at the
yes,
economic landscape, right?
yes, 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 yes.
And I was listening to something, a message by Pastor Femi Lazarus, and he was saying that until you are in someone else's situation, you would think that you are above it. The people who
Mhm,
are in lesser or disagreeable situations, it's not as if they chose it. It's just, life is happening to
mhm,
them. And
mhm.
so just be grateful that you are alive and pray that you continue to be alive. So
Mm,
when I look at the coaches that, those coaches and those people selling trainings where they talk about, oh, I made 20 million in 2 weeks. Come and see how I made 20 million in 2 weeks. And so they pack a bunch of people who are trying to make 20 million in 2 weeks. And then you find that, oh, this 20 million in 2 weeks. So the only reason why he's made the 20 million in 2 weeks is because he's been doing it for the past 7 years. You are just starting now. You think you can make 20 million in 2 weeks. You have to do the work,
mhm,
right?
mhm, mhm,
But looking at the economic landscape,
mhm,
people are hungry, people have family to take care of, and people
mhm,
have responsibilities, and they're
mhm,
just trying to make ends meet. Not that they don't have purpose, but how do they meet, how can coaches meet those financial needs while maintaining their integrity and their purpose without having to acquiesce or um um having to betray their values? Because it's
Hmm.
possible that they've been trying to go the route of, um yes, I want to create value, I want to do it the right way, but then when you start to see all
Mhm.
these ads, there's that temptation that, okay, let me do it the way of the world, how everybody else seems to be doing it, because it seems like that's what's getting results.
Mhm.
How do you balance that need to continue to be on purpose with, I need to make money now? And since AI is here, how can I use AI to make it even sharp, sharp? Before you answer that, I'd like to say thank you to Kike Lomo. He says she's enjoying every bit of this conversation. Thanks for being here. Amaka just joined us, and she says amazing topic, and let's repost. Please do so. Share to your network, to everybody. So, Sir David, please answer the question.
You're dealing with a very interesting question.
Mm,
Uh, this is seminar stroke MBA topic. This question. The first question is: there's been a lot of hype around purpose coaching and teaching. I did purpose and I still do purpose, but not the
mm,
same way that people do it. People need to answer the question in between purpose and economics. Where do I want to play? There are many purpose coaches and purpose teachers who have misled people. You see, there is a there are about four questions to consider. This
mm,
area of my purpose: how many products and services can I offer that people would buy or society needs?
mm,
What is the total addressable size of the market in this purpose school that I have opened? The purpose industry is saturated now. If people don't have food on their table, why do I need to know my purpose when I'm very hungry? I mean, there's a gap in
that's the question.
between the because people are hungry. People are hungry. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, people are offering 2,000, 5,000 solutions in crime as a service. All these Yahoo boys, this app, this show run, that thing, and they are making money. They have 100 clients, 2,000 naira times 100 clients. That's 200k, and you are Mr. Purpose. And you're not making a dime. I'm sorry, I'm using the negative example of society because the question that society is answering now is survival.
Yes.
So this your product and service. What is the total addressable market size? I don't care about what your purpose is if it doesn't tally with my need, and especially my emotive need, not my rational need. People don't buy their rational needs. People buy their emotive needs.
Yeah.
When people have rational needs, they will list it into do or bucket list when they have excess.
Yes.
But their emotional needs, and that's why even social media has gone into addiction science. Majority of social media platforms now they went to get addiction scientists, people that study how the brain reacts to substance, and then they've laced the platforms in quotes, not with hard substance, but with electronic programs that mirrors addiction. So that when you wake up in the morning, your phone is the first place you want to go. So this your product or service. How addictive is it? When I
Mm,
experience your coaching product or service, am I willing to come back? Does it give me pleasurable, memorable experience that stimulates my emotion so that I'm coming back to buy that service from you? Or you just want to sell me your 16-week coaching product? Then I managed to come for your coaching product or service. At the end of the day, I left confused or worse than I came. Meaning your purpose is not working, is working for you in Ghanaian emphasis, but it's not working for me. And this is a matter. Look, I have just finite disposable income as a Nigerian. I'm asking many, I've been asking coaches for a long time. If you were the coach, will you hire yourself? If you had the last 100K in your pocket and you need to multiply that money, if you were the CEO of a business, if you're the CEO of a business, would you ever, as a CEO of a business, do you ever for a second hire yourself? For 30 seconds, will you hire yourself? As a CEO,
Mm.
if I bring you Mr. Coach or Miss Coach or Mrs. Coach into my business, what is the return? What is the return on investment? And this must give you sleepless nights as a coach. When you've answered those questions, you don't need to blame society. So if your purpose is with this catchment, find a means of recalibrating that your purpose. Your purpose to answer a need in these areas that society needs, that you know you can deliver value, and you know you are the absolutely only most incredible person that people are going to bring there. You can make money in any industry. The question is, are you the one that we have been waiting for? We need another coach. How many coaches are having repeat businesses? This is how coaches should sit down. People who you've had as clients over the years, why are they not coming back? What are you doing that the back door of your office is not open? Why aren't people addicted to your service? And I observe, and again, Coach Falak, not because you are here, you're spending money on your service offering. There are many coaches are not spending money and readiness. What are you automating? What are you not automating? How much personalized experience do people have? If people have a pleasurable, memorable interaction with you, they're going to come back. We got many people who entered in the coaching because into a rough patch. They went to coaching class, and then from there, they introduced them to coaching. Then they got excited because they love counseling and talking and gisting, and they are motivated. Then they went into coaching, and then they began to wrap their purpose around it. But if something is really your purpose and you do it very well, and society needs it, and you find a way, even if it's not addictive, find a way to apply addiction to it. When I say addiction, I mean good addiction. Because people need you as a coach, but you need to make the service, you need to tweak the offering and make the service something that people don't want to go away from. Let them become loyalists. Let them become the brand of who you are as a person. When I watch many coaches, we have more celebrity coaches than celebrity. One of the individuals or clients, one of the beautiful lessons that the consulting company has that coaching hasn't in Nigeria and even all over the world is that there are many powerful celebrity coaches, but their clients are not celebrities. Every coach must resist the temptation of becoming the celebrity. Make your client a celebrity. Give them a ball. I mean, when a client leaves you, what are you going to do to that client? That when they get home, they're going to want to bring their husband. Every single client is an opportunity. So do crack the formula and do 10 of such. You want to bring your whole clan to me when I finish. I mean, if you've been in my live design sessions, the things I do in coaching, if you've been any of my, you want to come back. If I want to challenges I've had is that I'm afraid of opening up some channels for myself because I know that what we can do is huge. But there are many people who are after it for money, for fame, for we are the ones there, we are the clique, not genuinely for service, not genuinely to change people's lives. How many people wanted to commit suicide and they met you and then they can't commit suicide again? How many people were really stuck and they met you and they were unstuck? When you get a bill, tell your friends about it. So coaches need to do work in the area of product design psychology. Heavy work that is. And I ask every coach listening to me, you need to engage Coach Folake on technology and automation and how to give your clients individual user experiences. In that area, she's a boss. And I'm saying that because I've seen your work. And there are many other people who are remarkable coaches in that respect. But majority on the landscape, there's a lot of my purpose, my product. If it doesn't, if I don't need it, what are you talking about? I mean, let me drop this joke. I mean, there's a joke in Yoruba language. Say, my vegetable is sweet, is hot. My bean cake is very sweet. We don't eat bean cake in this country. Okay, My rice is sweet. My rice is sweet. We don't eat rice. We only eat beans. What are you talking about? That's how many coaches are. Say, oh, I brought my beans, so it is the sweetest in the community. Everybody is buying. But we don't eat it here. So I think many coaches have not engineered their products around and along their purpose sufficiently in the format that people will buy it. That's my personal opinion. So I got a power outage right there.
You have Okay, that's fine. We can still hear you. So we just need to hear your voice because you have just dropped massive bombs right now. So let me just do a piggyback, right? You
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
prompting, right? And
yeah,
then you asked a question, say, how addictive is your product and service, right? If you were the
yeah,
client, would you
yeah,
hire yourself?
yeah.
And
How
we are
often?
talking
How often will
about
you come
you
back for a
being
repeat?
addicted to the service. Yes.
Yeah.
You can make money in any industry, but are you the one we've been waiting for? Then you clients should bring their clan with them when they are done with your service. And
Yes.
coaches should learn product design psychology. Now,
Yes.
while you were talking,
Yes.
I was thinking, okay, so now you've given us things to think about. And not just think about alone, you've given us keywords and phrases to use in our prompting. Because what
Precisely.
prompting really is asking me and ChatGPT, we're going to have a good time. I know the amazing thing when I come back with these words and phrases, I can already picture what she's going to say. She'll say, "Wow, Folake, you are spot on. You are going deeper. You are growing into a mega multi-million dollar company." I can already see it.
Mhm.
Okay, you mentioned product design psychology.
Yeah.
So it means that as we are using AI, the questions, the quality of questions you ask determine the quality of answers you get. And so people need to learn how to be critical thinkers in order to get the most out of AI.
Yeah.
And conversations like this give us the words, the language, and the protocols to use to ask AI better questions
Yeah.
so that we can get the most out of this.
Yeah. In
Because
fact,
I'm sure some coaches are thinking on a superficial level, oh, how do I create content? Or give me my customer avatar. But business and influence goes beyond these things. There is a mindset and a psychological aspect where you are going deep into the psyche of the individuals in order to influence behavior and also to extract information.
yeah.
It is that information you then act on to prefer solutions and
Yep.
interventions. So it means that you are not just looking to do a 7-week program, 7-week coaching program, or you're not just looking to release your audio book or
Mm-hmm.
your ebook or your
Mm-hmm.
masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
Mm-hmm.
are you're putting your ideas into the machine,
Mm-hmm.
and then you are asking it to help you and show you the steps to transform this idea
Mm-hmm.
into an addictive experience
Mm-hmm.
for people.
Mm-hmm.
And the people, you have to qualify them, you have to describe them, you have to
Mm-hmm.
understand the market,
Mm-hmm.
the industry,
Mm-hmm.
what's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
So there has to be this pre-prep that you do with
Mm-hmm.
AI
Mm-hmm.
in order for it to design a super addictive behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you now address coaches that have a problem when you say um create an experience? You're basically telling them to build a cult-like following. That's
Yeah.
what this
Yeah.
is. You're telling them to build an
Yeah.
egregor. You're telling them to create a
Yeah.
psychological
Yeah.
entity that has a movement of its own. Some people might not be comfortable with that. They might just, please let
Yeah.
me just sell my 7-week program more,
Yeah.
and let me be all right. Meanwhile, some people are just hearing about this concept for the first time and they're wondering, what is that? And can I really do that? Can AI really, how does it work? So please share.
Um, why why remain ordinary when you could be extraordinary?
Boom.
Why would someone listen to you twice and they feel bland and not live with an expectation? You see, we're at 7 p.m., 7:09 now. This time is not going to come back. In the world, is not going to come back. Every time people engage you, it must be an experience of a lifetime because time is going away. And every minute they spend with you is an investment. So when I finish spending time with you as a coach, do I feel I've wasted it, or I have utilized it well, or I have invested it? Those are three different levels of utility.
Mm,
Coaches who
yeah.
people feel that they invested their time with will receive return on that investment in many ways. And coaches who I feel I've utilized the time well, I will come back a few times or bring my friends, medium results. You'll be in business. And coaches that I feel I've
Mm,
wasted my time, I won't come back. Why do you want to be coach? Why does anyone want to be a coach that people are going to feel like I've wasted my time with this person? That's a co-coach, not a coach. You're going to be nibbling here and there. The coaching industry is big, but go check all over the world. There's a massive 10 to 20% of coaches that own 80% of the market. And I've observed many coaches, they're all in, a lot of us are in our comfort zones, including yours truly. We don't want to grow. What it takes to run a business, because I'm talking about product psychology, there are organizations like the big five big KPMG, Price Waterhouse Coopers, Ernst and Young, who have coaching practices and they have someone dedicated. They have a whole directorate globally dedicated to product development and addiction, who help their so the executive coaching opportunity available goes to them all over the world for the big execs. And companies need coaches, and they would need coaches because they want behavioral change, which training, learning, and development hasn't been able to achieve. How do you become that coach? And I've observed something within the coaching community, especially the ones I know of. Anytime you speak about very high, interesting knowledge, that attitude comes to the table. No, it's too no, too no, too no. Why do I need to go and do prompt? What about the coaching? My coaching certificate trains me everything. And I'm always looking at them like, really? Really? Look, Meta can coach now. Meta AI can coach now. Google Gemini can coach now. ChatGPT can coach today. Why should I engage you? If it's still grow, you want to come and use some me or star methodology, or you want or you want to come and use big on me, business area, the necessary insights, then group solution, big methodology, or star situation, two mix action and result, or T grow topic, G goals, O options. I think W is way forward or something like that. If that's all you have, Meta can do it better. So the coach of the future, your voice is I can't hear you, Kolake. Are you muted?
yes, yes, go ahead. I don't
Okay.
want to interrupt what you're saying. Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Okay. So if the only thing is you are brilliant with the methodology, but there's no connection with the soul of the consumer. There's no addiction to your wisdom and your insight. Why does everyone troop to go and hear the Dalai Lama? Why do people go several weeks or months, save money up to have sessions with the Dalai Lama. For example, on LinkedIn, there are many coaches, like a proliferation in the past few weeks and months. But how many of them can we put money on? There are people who say they do content, and I'm always looking at them on social media. The content are not addictive. There's no storytelling and story selling. Those skill sets are a must if you must remain in business in the future that we are in today. You can't afford, if you're not going to be forgotten as a coach, the market space is brutally competitive. Flash news: 90% of pastors and imams are also entering the coaching industry. Every pastor I know is a coach too, whether they went to the coaching school or not. Sorry, I have power outage. If you don't see my face, sorry about that. So
Okay, I was about to
I hope
say
I'm still
that we
audible,
can't
Flash.
see you. Go ahead, please.
No, no,
Yes,
no.
yes, we can hear
It's
you. Go
power
ahead,
outage.
please.
It's power outage.
Okay.
So there are pastors now I know who are also coaches, and they don't need anything. They will just Google when they are talking to you. Come and see them for coaching. They will just be using Meta on you. Or better still, they have a lot of experience in counseling. They'll just, they'll do the two tactically. One more and boom between consulting and counseling. They'll make the two together to coach you or use their knowledge of training to coach you. So there are many entrants. The barriers to entry to coaching is generally low. Imams are also entering to coaching. What would be your unique selling point? What would be your unique advantage? Why should I come to you, and why should I be looking forward to the next session? What do you leave me with as magic? Are you an excellent therapist? Are you a matrix imprinter? What unusual gifts do you have that will make you a wonder as a coach? You must have it. Number two, you must have the knowledge, skills, tools and techniques and attitude. I know a guy that's paraded himself as a coach, totally narcissistic, totally arrogant, totally competitive, steals people's ideas at will, and he says he's a coach. He's a cockroach. I know many, I know many coaches that are in competition of anything. As we are doing AI now, someone will start their own AI, and I'm always looking at the person. Oh my god! And you see, you're a purpose coach, and
Yes.
every your behavior on the ground is totally purposeless. Is finance, FFO. You just want to make money. There's no authenticity. It's going to ring through the line.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will show.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I hope I answered the question.
Yes. And
I
let's
think the key, your
continue.
question, I think the key for all of us as coaches is we have no choice than to do amazing stellar work.
Yeah. Uh okay, so the time is 1916. Festus is
Hello, coach, I
enjoying the
can hear you. Go on.
session, and Amaka says that what you're saying is absolute truth. She's had clients return to her program because of personalized experience. Yes. So to round off the program,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes,
I'm hearing you say that coaches need to be more connected and coaches need to show more empathy.
yes,
And at the beginning of our conversation, you mentioned self-awareness. For me to
she's had a
be
client.
empathetic with your situation
Yeah,
and for me to connect with you, it must come from a place where I am connected with myself. And empathy requires a level of vulnerability.
mm,
You cannot ask your clients to be vulnerable with you and share the deepest, darkest parts of their soul when you haven't done that within yourself.
thank you.
So, how can AI help you become more vulnerable and more self-aware with yourself? Because that is where you are able to connect with others, to give them the best solutions, and to bring out the best of yourself as well. We've mentioned several keywords in terms of creating experience, emotional intelligence, self-awareness, product design, psychology. And the general theme here is that when you understand your own psychology, you are able to tap into your client's psychology to give them the best service. And AI can help you uncover those parts of yourself if you are willing and able to use the right language and open to that level of vulnerability, because sometimes the feedback can be quite brutal. There's a prompt I shared with my community last week where you're asking ChatGPT to tell you the parts of yourself that are your blind spots that you are not recognizing and is stopping you from taking action. It's a very long prompt that I shared. If you guys need it, just send a DM and I'll send it to you. And it's almost like a big knock on the head. So finally, how can coaches prepare themselves for this deep level of revelation so that they can get over themselves and become more effective, more intuitive, more emotive in their practice? And then we can end it there.
Yes, you see, I've observed that, especially in Africa, a lot of people are very feedback unhappy. We hate feedback. We don't like feedback. We we generally pretend that we do. I think the first thing is a lot of us should put our energy on the table and take more feedbacks. Take more feedbacks. Become comfortable, especially with negative feedbacks. Look for feedback ruthlessly and become. I also notice that a lot of people, the older they go, the less they can take feedback. And people don't like criticisms. So we live in a generation of political correctness where you must be correct with everything that you say. You can't tell people straight in the face that this thing you're doing is bull. No, you can't say it. You can't say bull. I have to just say, oh, it's bull mate. You can't explain to people that what you're doing is going to land you in trouble, in quotes. So coaches need to develop the thick skin to receive feedback, especially from your clients. And when it comes to your craft, are you genuinely gifted at this thing? Or the joke is that you are not funny?
Mm.
Let me explain. Many years ago, I once did comedy. Yeah, that's just got that one. I once did comedy. There are many not funny comedians. The joke is that you are not funny. I mean, it was by the way, happy birthday to him, Bros Alibaba. Remarkable man. Many years ago, I finished my first degree, and at some point, I got interested in comedy. And I'm a very unusual person, despite my very stoic, conservative Christian values and background. I decided to go to commercial, real full-time comedy. Someone, Bimbo, sent me. Adibajo sent me to him to Alibaba. And he listened to me, listened to me, listened to me. He said, deliver 2 or 3 jokes. Looked at me, said, don't worry. So he invited me to his library, and then he gave me 5 books at first, then gave me another 4 to go photocopy and back. The Comedian's Mind, how to craft jokes, the School of Comedy, Day 1 to 30, how to develop a comic mind, how to be audience sensitive so that you know what kind of jokes you should share, Christian jokes, because I wanted to go into Christian comedy. And I went for a few gigs with some of him and some of his boys. One of the things that he told me that another good friend of mine, MCRB, also echoed to me was that don't let the joke be that you are not funny. After you have cracked the joke now, we're not looking for the humor, they will not start laughing because you are not funny. If you say
Yeah.
if you say you are a psycho-emotional coach, are you gifted in psycho-emotionalism? If you say you are a weight
Mm.
shedding coach, do you understand weight and psychology of weight? Are you in touch with? If you say you are a cooking coach, are you really a sound cook? Do you have the content in that area? If you say you're a purpose coach, what is your purpose signature? If I encounter you as a person, do I feel purpose? Or I feel a hustler that just wants to succeed? Anytime anyone sees you for like there's VIP,
Mm.
VIP always around you. There's a CEO thought and feeling
Mm.
without being overbearing, without being proud or pompous. Simply in the interaction,
Mm.
that element of energy will come out. So, can you deliver
Yeah.
the genius? Can you deliver the energy?
Mm.
Can you deliver that thing to another soul? No holds bad. Can they feel that energy? In coaching, there are different kind of deep gifts. Are you a seer, a hearer, an empath, a healer, a drainer? Are you a connector? Are you a valve? Are you a way maker? Are you a barrier breaker? Are you a possibilities thinker? You don't need to speak. As soon as I come into your presence, how much of voltage of that energy, how much kilowatt of that energy do you carry? If you stand in a place
Mm.
as a coach, do you radiate without speech or audio possibilities? I have signed out of some mentors because they are tormentors. You say you're a purpose coach or you are a creative, super, whatever you are, your mentee to tap into that spirit. And what I meet in your soul is competitive rivalry. And I
Mm.
even see you try to break my leg in quotes. So, what kind of coach are you? Am I sure I'm safe in your network, on your circle? After I met you, where was my life? When I finished the interaction, where is my life? If there was a point one and point two in the interval, what interventions did your life pour into my life that gives me leap for another level?
Mm.
Coaches must develop that signature in their coaching services. Hello, I hope I'm
Yeah.
still visible or audible. I think I'm having internet glitches on my
Yes,
side.
you're visible and audible. We are here. We are here with you. Go ahead, please. We can hear you.
Hello, hello.
We can hear you. We can hear you, Sir David. Can you hear me? We can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, it appears you can't hear me. Send you a message. Can you hear me? Can you see me? We are still connected. We are now at 1927. This is an hour-long conversation, and yes, we started late due to technical issues, but it has been a juicy conversation. And piggybacking on where Sir David left off, before I do that, if you've had an interesting conversation, if your mind is reeling and thoughts are going wild in your mind, if you're having ideas and if the spark and electricity is going off in your mind and if your heart is pumping and you're excited, type excited in the chat. And remember to go back to this episode, watch it again, share it with your network, share it with everyone that you know. There's been a lot of food for thought in terms of how coaches can truly elevate themselves. And you elevate yourself, you're able to elevate others. And as you elevate others, that's when your coaching practice evolves. And AI is here to help you elevate. once you are armed with the right tools, with the right language, with the right protocols to prompt it and ask those deep questions. And those deep questions must come from a place of self-awareness. I'm simply doing a recap right now at 1 hour, 15 minutes into the session while we wait for Coach David to join us. Those deep questions that you're asking AI is in a bid to uncover aspects of yourself, uncover your gifts. And it's as you uncover aspects of yourself, you are able to truly come into your full purpose and understand your gifts. These gifts have been hinted by Sir David, and he's back with us now. Can you hear me? And can you see me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. So I was just doing a
Hello, can you
summary
hear me too?
of everything we have. Yes, we can hear you. So I said I was just doing a summary of
Okay.
everything we have discussed and how it's been an exciting and juicy conversation. We've had a lot to think about. I can't wait to go back to ChatGPT right now. So, a simple way that I just want to give a practical example. So, I have my notes here from this session, right? Just a way to be more effective and to use this session in a practical way. So, I have my notes here. What I do is I open my voice note recorder and then I read out this note, include my thoughts in it, and then I copy the transcript and put it in ChatGPT, and I ask it to convert it into a 3-part email and convert it into 2 carousels, right? And at the end, here is the link to the replay. Ask people to go and watch it. And so my job regarding this session and helping people recap, giving them the tools and the points is done. So if that is a good way for you to make the best out of sessions like this, especially with the promptings and the language and the protocols that has been dropped today, you have to go back and use it. So I've just shared how I'm using mine. When you watch this, share in the chat, share in the comments, how are you going to use it? We're all about taking action here. It's not just about consuming knowledge. You have to do something about it. So, Sir Davis, give us last words as we shut down this hot episode 2.
Thank you. And it's been amazing speaking with you, Coach Folake. Thank you so much for always asking those very brilliant, super questions. I think at the end of the day, we need we need coaches, not cockroaches. We need coaches that make a difference. What is your unique gift? What is your unique, incredible talentedness that only a few persons can do? If we were to have a World Olympics, what would you be batting for? Please, coach, don't let your coaching practice be far from that area of strength. We need super trailblazers. We need coaches that empower the future. The coming future, because machines are now competing with human beings, the coming future will be intolerant of mediocrity. The factors of production, which AI has now added to the list, will be intolerant of the waste. The Japanese word for waste is called muda. So we don't want waste of production. What are you incredibly gifted at? Not what you can compete at best.
Have we lost Sir David again? We'll just wait a minute for him to join us. And while we do that, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Emeka, Festus, Amaka, thank you for being a part of the conversation. Professor Roxana, You made this session even more lively with your feedback and your contributions. The session will be available on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and we will split shorts on Instagram and on YouTube shorts as well, so that you can have a recap. And make sure to, if you have further questions as you are pondering and taking action on the things you've learned today, feel free to drop those questions, drop your thoughts in the comment section on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, any social media platform. Follow Sir David on all social media platform at David Aboduri Adeoye, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at CEO VIP. Just type in CEO VIP and I'll pop up. Okay, so we have. Yes, I think Sir David is back now. While you were away, I was telling them that it's been an exciting conversation, and I'm thanking them for joining us. I've told them to follow us on our social media platforms to ask their questions and to also repost and share, and look forward to the recap as well. So thank you so much,
Yes,
everyone. Sir David, it's been a lovely, lovely, powerful conversation. We definitely have to continue for a few minutes after we've left everybody, because I have a lot more questions. So thank you, everyone, and have a good evening. Thank you so much, Sir David. It's
thank
been
you.
amazing as always.
Thank, thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Thank you. I'm ending stream now. Thank you. Please leave comments and share with your friends. Bye.
Bye.
I'm trying to end stream.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's ending. Just me Control G.
No,
Okay,
we're
it's
still
taking a
live.
while. It's taking a while to end. I think it's internet connectivity. Apologies.
It took a while for us to connect. Now that we have connected, it doesn't want us to go. Can you imagine that? Professor Roxanne says, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in.
Where are you seeing the comments?
It's right by the side. Are you not seeing them? It's on the right panel, on my
I'm not
right
seeing
panel
them.
anyway. Really? Here, right here
Oh,
in Restream.
oh. I need to do a brute
And
end.
they're coming from LinkedIn. I have a button that says leave, so I'm just going to leave now, and then maybe something will